like working with David Turner on a daily basis?
Good. I've been knowing David for over probably 20 years now. I mean, we go way back, and uh, we met years ago recruiting Atlanta, and he's a great guy, great coach, and we share a lot of the same philosophies when it comes to D-line play. Same intensity, a lot of the same techniques. So it's been a great transition, and it's really been going well for us.
As to Sean Hall, what's going to be the difference year two in John Chavis? What is the difference moving
I
forward?
think like anything, I think your second year is always going to be better than your first year because of understanding the defense. I think number one, your players understand the defense a lot better across the board. Intricacies, I mean the small things that take a good defense to a great defense. I think that's probably the biggest thing you see from all of our players. And then, just players continue to get smarter as they play the game more and more and more. So, but just understanding his defense because again, it's not a very complicated defense at all, but it's amazingly good. And again, the better our guys know it, the more our guys can put it on automatic pilot and go in there and play fast and make plays on Saturdays.
Are you guys going to be adding anything to what you guys do this year? Is it going to be more just perfecting what you did last year?
We're always adding things. I think there's always a few pieces to the pie that Coach Chavis always adds from time to time. A lot of it depends on who you're playing, what kind of offense you're playing against, their personnel groupings, all the above. So I think you always add a few things, but you always have your meat and potatoes, your steady diet of plays and calls that you use consistently. And I think the key with spring practice is to make sure when you go out there and play the game and practice against the offense, you can take those plays that you're going to use throughout the fall against everybody you play and get really, really good at them. And that's one thing we strived on this spring.
There's always a lot of emphasis on the pass rush with your guys, but how do you feel like, what was your evaluation of them in run defense last season?
No, I mean, I thought they all competed and got after it, but the bottom line is it's not about competing in effort, it's about production. And we weren't very good as a defense in the run game. So that's something that we've taken pride in. We've made a strong emphasis across the board with our defense and make sure we're better to run. And I don't think there's any question that we've improved this spring in that aspect across the board. So, every position has to get better. My guys got to get better. We all got to get better at run defense, and we can. And that to me is where we can make a big jump because again, obviously, I think the numbers speak for itself as far as our pass defense, but good run defense is where we got to get better. We will get better, and I don't think there's any question we'll show that in the fall.
You seeing more consistency day to day at this point in the year in Deshaun Hall?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, you're talking about a guy that really had one off season last year, and still has not gotten to where he needs to be strength wise just because he's had one off season in 3 years here. So he's made big strides. He's a guy that's really studied the game. I mean, from year one to where he is now, he's come light years, and I'm excited about that. I mean, and I say this about the young man: he's a great family, he's a great young man, and I love being around him every day because he has goals, and he knows things he wants to achieve, and he's going to work his tail off to make sure he gets that done. So, love being around him every single day. He's a worker.
How much is he getting pushed by some of those other ends?
He really is. I tell you what, we got some young guys stepping up that were backups last year. I mean, I thought Quaylen Cunningham's really had a good spring. I thought he's really improved in a lot of aspects. Attack the line of scrimmage, be more physical at the point. Even his rushes have gotten better. Jared Johnson continues to do good things, but James Lockhart is another guy that really has really improved this spring. I mean, he's a guy that played sparingly last year, but he's really improved his game. The one thing that he is a high motor guy. I mean, he's going to play hard every single snap. He's got some physical toughness. He has strength. So he's really a guy that has made a nice move this spring as far as helping himself to get in that rotation and get more playing time.
You notice any changes in Miles' personality or his approach to the way he does things?
Miles is always going to be that silent assassin out there. Now, he's a quiet guy, but he works his tail off. I mean, he is a guy that truly, when you hate to use the term lead by example, but he does. I mean, he plays hard. He chases the ball sideline to sideline in practice. And what it does is it creates habits. So on game day, I mean, he had he chased down a pass or a screen down the right sideline about 30, 40 yards on Friday night. But that's didn't just happen Friday night. That's something he does every day in practice. I mean, we see it every day. We watch team film. You'll see him where you see a flash come across the field and he's running 20, 30, 40 yards trying to track a ball down. So he's And the reason why it happens on game days is because he practices that way. It doesn't just happen because he wants to. He practices that way, and that's part of what makes him the player he is.
On Friday night, it appeared from the stands that he was more vocal than usual, but
Well,
perhaps not.
no, I'll agree with that, and that's something that he needs to work on. We're trying to help him become more of a leader, because you can't have enough leaders on defense. You can't have enough leaders on your football team, and he is a one that leads by example on how fast and how hard he plays. We just need him to be more vocal, and he's trying to accept that role and be more vocal, be a more vocal leader, push other guys, encourage other guys, and be that leader that we need on defense. So he's really working at it, and again, some guys pick it up naturally. Some guys got to work at it because that's just in their nature. But he's really worked hard at trying to be a better leader this year for us.
Where does he expand on his game? Does a lot of things well.
Yeah, well, just like anything else, he's gotten a little bit stronger even at the point of attack, which helps in the run game. The biggest thing for him is just continue to learn the game. I mean, see splits, see formations, identify backfield sets, know what plays getting run at you. Just learn the game better, because physically, obviously, he has all the tools, but he continues to become a smarter and more intelligent football player, and that's going to show up as far as making more plays on the football field on Saturday nights. I believe that.
I know you're doing some full line team drills where
Yes,
you're
sir.
getting a chance to see those big guys inside. How are those young guys progressing?
Making big time progress now. It's a talented group, a really, really talented group. And like I say, Coach Turner's done a great job with them. They are definitely responding to how he's coached them and how he's getting in their tails from time to time to make sure they work hard. And you see market improvement to me across the board with all those young guys. So they're all making progress, doing well, and all working together to continue to get better as a defensive line.
Do you have any goals that you set in mind for the spring game in terms of things you want to see?
Well, it's hard to set goals in the spring game because you don't know how much we're going to do, how much we're going to pressure, blitz, or just play more base defense. So, I don't know if I really can't set goals for the spring game. I just know, obviously, run defense is paramount as far as my goal for this defense. And I'm going to do my part in this, and I promise you. And I was going to work harder to make sure we become a better defense from a run-stopping point of view, because that can help obviously take us to the next level defensively.
Terry, when you look back on your career, is there a defensive line that you coached that that really stands out in your mind? Think, man, it's kind of like if the offense, they would have said that 2012 offensive line, was there
Right.
at every time one that you remember as being specifically, just or especially dominant? And then I wanted to ask if you see anything with these guys here, if they could approach that.
Well, it's hard to pick out one group. I mean, as long as I've done it, heck, I forget half the guys I coach over here. I mean, 20-something years now. But no, there's been some really good players. Obviously, I've coached in the past, and we've had some really good D-lines. But this is, again, I'm proud of this group, because this group's come a long, long way. I mean, Deshaun Hall was 218 pounds not too long ago, and now he's 260 pounds as defensive end. Myles Garrett, coming to his third year. I mean, he's matured a lot, and our inside guys have grown up and gotten bigger and stronger. So, proud of the guys we have working this year, and that's really my focus and goal, to make sure these guys go out here and play the best defense they can.